everyone. Welcome to the session of English. In this session, we are going to cover basics of English language. This language help you out a lot in your life and in various examinations. So in this session, we are going to cover basics of English language which will definitely help us out in communication skills in various exams and in our daily life. Okay, so this is very important for our life. This language is very important for our life. So we are going to discuss English language. And in this session, we will cover various basics related to English language. Well, let's begin this session. First of all, we'll see the introduction of basics of English language. English language skills are essential for success in various competitive exams and are widely tested in many job recruitment processes. It means this language or English language skills, it means skills which are related to English language. These skills are really essential for success in various competitive exam. It means if you are going to take any competitive exam, this section of English language is very, very important for many competitive exams. Okay. And widely tested in many job recruitment processes. And in case of interview, if you face any interview, this language help you a lot in various aspects of your job processes as well. And in fact, if you are facing any interview and if you have already got the job and you are working, so this will definitely help you out in your job process. Being proficient in English, it means if someone is fluent at English or if someone is proficient in English, it means his English language is very good, can significantly boost your chances of securing a good score. If you are good in English, this will be a plus point and this will definitely boost your chances of securing good marks, or it will also help you out in getting a good job. Okay, and improving your overall communication abilities. And if you are proficient in English, if you know grammar well, if you know English language very well, it means your communication skills will be improved as well. Okay, now in English language, we see a part grammar. Now this word is very, very important for English language or for anyone who wants to learn English language or who wants to speak English. Okay, understanding the fundamentals of English grammar is crucial. Crucial means very, very important. It is very important to learn the rules and various fundamentals of English language or English grammar. Key topics include parts of speech. Grammar is very important, and this grammar actually this includes nouns, verbs, adjectives, etc. Means various parts of a speech. Now, what are parts of a speech that we are going to discuss later on? But here I can give you an idea. For example, if you see the sentence, this is written over here that English language skills are essential for success in various competitive exams and widely tested in many job recruitment processes. Suppose this is a sentence. And you can see that this sentence is made up of various words. Okay. For example, English language skills are essential for success in various competitive exams and are widely tested in many. So you can see that this sentence is made of various words. Okay. Now, each word is actually a part of the sentence. Okay, each word is actually the part of the sentence, and each part of this sentence is known as something or has its own name. For example, if I talk about English language, that is actually representing the subject of this sentence. So this is actually a noun. Okay, and if we talk about skills, this is also noun. Okay, well here if we talk about English language skills, so this can be a noun phrase or this can be an adjective. Okay, now are is actually an auxiliary verb. Okay, or you can say verb. Essential is adjective or the subject complement. Okay, for is the preposition. So we have various parts of a speech that we apply in a sentence or that we use to make a sentence. In is again a preposition. Various is adjective, competitive again adjective, or various can be an adverb over here. Exams are nouns and are widely. So all these words, they are actually some parts of a speech. So a sentence is actually made up of part of a speech. Okay. Now, another part that we have is tenses, because tenses is not actually the part of a speech. Why so? Let me tell you. Suppose I say a sentence that my favorite subject is English. Okay, this is a sentence that you can see over here. Now I have written this sentence in present tense. As you can see, I've written is over here. It means this is my favorite subject is English. Obviously, it is my favorite subject today. It was tomorrow. It will be in future as well. So this sentence which we have written is actually a fact about me. Moreover, it is this sentence was written in present form. Okay, or present tense. Now, tense is not the word. Tense does not form a word of the sentence, but it forms the entire sentence. Okay, if we talk about tenses, they do not speak of only a single word, but tense is actually seen with the entire sentence. For example, if I say Ram goes to school. Okay, if I say Ram goes to school, how will you find that this sentence is of present tense? In fact, obviously with the help of the word goes to. Okay, now goes to is just a verb first form, but the entire sentence represents that this sentence is in present tense. Okay, now with the help of only one word, we cannot say that whether the sentence is in present tense or is in past tense. Okay, for example, if I say Ram has been going to school for 4 years. Suppose this is the sentence. Okay, now if I write Ram went to school yesterday. Okay, went to school yesterday. Or Ram has gone to school. So these are several sentences. Has gone to school for 4 years. Okay, for 4 years. Now, if you see all these sentences, they differ in tenses. How? The first sentence has gone to school for 4 years. This is actually present perfect tense. Okay, though this is present, but this is present perfect tense. Whereas if we talk about this sentence, Ram has been going to school for 4 years. Now here it is written has been going. It means this action is still in continuation. Okay, so this is actually the perfect continuous, present perfect continuous tense. Okay, so here with the help of this word, you have recognized that these two sentences, they differ from each other on the basis of tenses. Okay, also if you see the last sentence, it is went to. It means this is the past tense. Okay, and from where did you get that? With the help of word went to and also the word yesterday, you got that this sentence is in past tense. Okay, so with the help of this verb and the structure of the sentence, we can say whether the sentence is in perfect tense or is in continuous tense, or it is in present tense, past tense, or future tense. So the sentences differ according to the tenses. Only if we talk about the parts of sentences like Ram has, these are individual parts of the sentence which are formed by parts of speech. But if we see the entire sentence, they can be different sentence by sentence, and that is actually the concept of tenses. It means tenses can be recognized with the help of the entire sentence, but individual words, they are actually the parts of speech. But the entire sentence forms the tenses of the sentence. Okay, therefore we do not consider tenses as the parts of a speech, but actually these are actually the parts of grammar, which we definitely read, and this is very, very important topic of grammar. Present, past, and future. So we learn three tenses, that is present tense, past tense, and future tense. We also learn several parts or subparts of these tenses. Articles are actually not the parts of a speech. Why so? Because articles are actually the special adjectives. For example, if I say one pencil, so here we are talking about pencil, which is a noun, and one is an adjective. Now I can also write this phrase as a pencil. Now a pencil is equal in meaning to one pencil. Okay, but here a is an article, whereas one is an adjective. So both these words are same, or the meaning of both the sentences are same, or both the phrases are same. Still we say adjective are the parts of a speech, whereas articles are not the parts of a speech. In fact, these are actually the special type of adjectives. So articles are considered to be the parts of adjective only. Well, this we will discuss later on in the later sessions of English language. Now, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, and sentence structure. Pronouns, prepositions, and conjunctions, these are also parts of a speech. Okay, these are also considered parts of a speech. Okay, now if we talk about sentence structure, so this is actually the structure of the sentence, which forms the entire sentence. Okay, so this cannot be the part of a speech, because part of a speech means part of sentence. Okay. Now, vocabulary means any word related thing, or any word, or if we talk about words, so word means vocabulary, or the list of words, that is vocabulary. Okay, so building a strong vocabulary is essential for effective communication. Now this is very important, to build a strong vocabulary. Why so? If there are many words, and if there are many words, and if we do not know that what do we call this word in English, how we will make our sentences fluently, how we will speak the sentences fluently. For example, if I don't know the meaning of a particular word, I will stop there, and I will interrupt. That will interrupt my speech, or that will interrupt my fluency of speaking. Okay, so it is very important for effective communication that we should build a strong vocabulary. It means we should learn more and more words that we can. Okay, learn new words, their meanings, and their usage. Now, merely listening to that word or merely reading that word is not complete. You should know the meaning and the usage of that particular word in a sentence. It means if there is a word, for example, check. So merely listening to this word check is not, you can say, is not complete, or is not effective if you know the meaning of that particular word, if you know the synonyms of that particular word, and if you know the usage of that particular word. Also, the homophones related to that particular word, we should know each and everything. Because if we read the word check, maybe its spelling can be different. It can be either CHEQUE, or it can be CHECK. Okay, but that is also important, because this word is also used differently in different different sentences. Now, practice synonyms, antonyms, and contextual usage to enhance your language skills. So this is very important for a person to read vocabulary, to learn more and more words, to learn more and more meanings, to learn the synonyms, antonyms, and the uses of those particular words into in their or to use these words in the sentences. Okay. Now, reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is also the part of English language. Reading comprehension is like a paragraph. A paragraph is given to us. Now, reading comprehension is somewhere which is related to reading concept. Okay, anything which is related to reading. Okay, and on the basis of reading comprehension only, we can have various types of questions. For example, unseen passages. So unseen passages can only be seen in the part of reading comprehension. Moreover, we can have clause test and the jumbled paragraphs. So these are actually based on reading comprehension, or these are actually the parts of reading comprehension. Why so? Reading comprehension means, here we have two words. Reading means when we read the paragraphs or read the words. Okay, when we just try to try to speak what is written in text, and we used to speak those words which are written over there. So that process is known as reading. And comprehension means to understand. So if someone knows how to read and how to interpret it, that is actually the skill which is required in reading comprehension. This section evaluates your ability to understand and interpret passages. So this part is very, very important. Practice reading diverse topics and answering questions based on the given information. Now, reading comprehension can have unseen passages. Unseen passages are actually the type of questions where we have been given a passage based on which we have some questions, and we have to answer those questions from the paragraph, or these questions can be directly figured out from the passage, or maybe possible we have to infer those questions from the passage. Okay. Now, practice reading diverse topics. So we should practice. So to solve these type of questions, we need to practice a lot. We need to practice reading. We need to read a lot, just to make our skills, to enhance our skills of reading comprehension. Diverse topics and answering questions based on the given information. Now, you can also do this, that frame a story and try to figure out, or try to make out some questions based on that passage, and try to figure out those questions based on the passage, or that can be inferred from the passage. Now, descriptive English. Improve your writing skills. Now, descriptive English is again very important. Descriptive means when we describe something. Now, descriptive English involves essays, letters, précis writing. In many exams, this section is covered. Where you need to write essays, where you need to write letters, and where you need to write précis. Okay, so improve your writing skills by practicing essays, letters, and précis writing. Okay, focus on clarity, coherence. Coherence means sequence of writing, and proper sentence construction. It means whenever we write an essay, obviously we take care of the structure of the sentences, that how to make a sentence. For example, if some sentence is there in our mind, but we know that sentence in rough language, or maybe possible in our regional or Hindi language, but we don't know how to write that sentence in English. So this learning of English language, or learning various fundamentals of English language, or learning fundamentals of grammar, this will definitely help us out in constructing good sentences or proper sentences. Okay. Now, let us move to the next one. Sentence structure deals with how words, phrases, and clauses are arranged and organized to create meaningful sentences. Now, sentence structure. Here we are going to begin with sentence structure. Now, what is sentence structure? Sentence structure is actually the pattern of writing a sentence. Okay. Sentence structure deals with how words, phrases, and clauses are arranged and organized to create meaningful sentences. Okay, so sentence structure is actually the process of arranging the words, phrases, clauses, and organizing them in a sequence that can make a proper sentence. And now, what is sentence? Sentence is actually a systematic sequence of various words or various parts of a speech that has some meaning. So that is known as sentence. Okay, it involves comprehending. Comprehending means understanding the various components of sentence and their interconnections to convey complete ideas. For example, if I say, I saw a car beautiful. Now, is this any sentence? No, because here we have not properly arranged the words. So this is not a sentence. However, if I write, I saw a beautiful car, if I write this sentence, obviously this sentence is absolutely correct. Why so? Because in this sentence, in the second sentence, I have arranged each and every word properly, and I have also used the word which is required over there. For example, I have written I, which is a pronoun. After that, I have written saw, which is a verb. It means first I have written the subject, then the verb, then an article, then adjective, and then noun. Okay, so I saw a beautiful car. So here the sentence has some meaning, and therefore this is actually the complete sentence, and this is actually the you can say this process that I have done over here right now. This is known as the sentence structure. Also, the thing which I have written, this is known as sentence. Okay. Concept: sentence structure is a fundamental aspect of language tested in competitive exams. It refers to the organization and arrangement of words, phrases, and clauses within a sentence to convey complete thoughts and ideas effectively. It means whatever we want to say to another person, whatever we want to convey, whatever message we want to convey to another person, if we are creating a proper sentence, our message will be properly conveyed to another person. Understanding sentence structure is essential for constructing grammatically correct and coherent sentences. So this sentence structure should be understood to make proper sentences using the various fundamentals of grammar. Okay, so the sentence structure is very, very important, because how to arrange these words, what should come first, what should come afterwards, this is very, very important to frame a proper and effective sentence. For example, if you see this sentence, I saw car beautiful, obviously this pattern is incorrect. Now, if I would have written, if I had written, I'm really very sorry, if I had written, I saw beautiful car, that would have been wrong. But if I write, I saw a beautiful car, that will be correct. Okay, it means this A is also very important in writing such a sentence. Therefore, it is very important to learn various concepts of English language and grammar, because if I had written this sentence like I saw beautiful car, though here I have arranged the words properly, yet this sentence is incorrect. Okay, beautiful car. Why so? Because here I have missed the concept of grammar. That is, I need to add an article before this word beautiful. Okay, so merely arranging the words in a proper manner is not complete, or is not like making the sentence correct. We will have to learn various concepts of grammar so as to make this sentence complete and meaningful. Okay, now let us move to the next one, a basic sentence. Now here we are going to discuss the parts of sentence, that is subject and predicate. But before learning subject and predicate, we should know that what is actually the sentence. However, we are going to discuss this part, that what is sentence, in later in this session. But here I should introduce basic structure of a sentence. The basic structure of a sentence we talk about is actually subject. After that we have verb. Now this verb can be further divided into helping verb and the main verb. After that we have an object. Okay, now this is actually called a sentence. Now if you see this subject, this is actually the subject. This verb can be further divided into two parts, that is helping verb and main verb, or you can say auxiliary verb and the main verb. And this object is actually anything which now it is also possible that we do not have an object in the sentence, so it is also possible. Okay, so this object is a word which replies to the question what or whom. Well, now we'll define that what is subject and what is object. First of all, let us discuss that what is subject and what is object. However, we will discuss this later on in this session. Okay, here we have a word subject. Now what is subject? Subject is actually a person who does the action. So doer of the action is known as subject. Okay, if he does anything, that is known as subject. Now another word for subject is whom we are talking about. It means a person whom we talk about. Whom we talk about is known as subject. For example, if I say Ravi goes to school. Okay, if I say Ravi, let me give you some examples. If I say Ravi goes to school, this is the sentence. Now you see over here that a word is written Ravi. Now the action is goes to. Now who is doing this action? Obviously this action has been done by Ravi. or this action is done by Ravi. So Ravi is the one to do this action. Therefore, this Ravi is a subject over here. Okay, this Ravi is a subject over here because he performs this action. If I say Ravi is a good boy. Ravi is a good boy. Now, who is a good boy? Of course, Ravi. So, for whom we are talking about in this sentence? Of course, Ravi. So, this Ravi is a subject over here. Why so? Because we are talking about a person who is a Ravi. So, Ravi is the subject in this sentence because in this sentence we are talking about Ravi. Therefore, Ravi is the subject. Now, who is actually the doer of action, it means who performs the action, is known as subject. Moreover, someone whom we are talking about is also known as subject. If I say my mother cooks well. My mother cooks well. Now, can you identify who is the subject in this sentence? Of course, it is mother. Why so? Because this action, that is cooks, this is verb, this is an action, and who is performing this action? Of course, my mother. So my mother is the subject, or this entire phrase, that is my mother, this is actually the subject. Why so? Because she is the person who is doing this action, okay, or who is performing this action. Now, if I say my mother is very beautiful, so I'm talking about my mother. Therefore, my mother will be the subject of that sentence. Okay, so any person whom we are talking about or who performs the action which is mentioned in the sentence is known as subject. Now, if we talk about verb can be action. For the time being, we will consider that verb is an action. Okay, now what is actually verb, that we will discuss later on in this session only. Now, object, if we talk about object is actually a person which talks about or which replies to the question what or who. Okay, any word which replies to the question what or whom is known as object. Suppose there is any person or there is any object which replies to the question what. For example, if I say I teach. Now here I'm saying I teach. A question must be arising in your mind or must be occurring in your mind that what do you teach? I say I teach English. Now this English, this is replying to the question what that has come to your mind. What question has come to your mind? What question has come to your mind? That is what do you teach? And I replied to this question that I teach English. So this English is replying to the question what, and therefore this is known as object. Okay. Now let us take another sentence. If I say I respect, now of course you will ask, or now of course you can ask that whom do you respect? So here a question that comes to your mind is whom. Now I say I respect everyone. Okay, I respect everyone. So whom do I respect? Obviously everyone. Okay, so this everyone replies to the question whom. Therefore, again, this is known as object. So object is a person or a thing which replies to the question either what or whom. However, later in this session, we are going to elaborate this with some examples. Okay, so I teach English, that is an object and it is replying to the question what. But if I say I respect, you would ask whom, and I say everyone. So this everyone is again replying to the question whom. So any word that replies to the question what or whom, that is known as object. So according to this, the word that we have used over here is what, and what is replying to the question object, and whom is also replying to the question object. So object is a word which replies to the question what or whom. Okay, so from here we can define object in such manner. Moreover, if we say I went. Now if I say I went, so you would only ask me where did you go? Okay, the question that will come to your mind is mind will be where did you go? And if I say I went to Delhi, now of course if I say I went to Delhi, so is this Delhi replying to the question either what or whom? No, it is replying to the question where. But as I told you, that object is only that particular thing which replies to the question either what or whom. But this word here, it is replying to the question where and not what or whom. Therefore, this Delhi, will it be an object? No, not at all. This will not be an object clearly. Why so? Because it is replying to the question where and not who or, not what or whom. But if I say, I like Delhi. Now I have again used this word Delhi, but this time I'm using it for the reply of I like what. Now here in this sentence, it is replying to the question what. Therefore, of course, this is an object. I hope you got my point. It means if any noun or any word or any name of place, if it replies to the question what or whom, it will be an object. And if it is not replying to the question what or whom, but it is replying to some else question, that means it is not an object. For example, if it replies to the question where, it will be an adverb. Okay. Well, what is it that we will discuss later on? Okay. We'll elaborate these points later in this session. Okay. So I hope that you have understood this part. Now, if we talk about subject and predicate, so the first part of the sentence, it means if you see the subject part, this is the subject which replies to the question, which is actually the doer of the action or whom we are talking about. But rest of the part from verb up to the object, or if it is not an object, anything else. For example, if I say good boy, Ravi will be the subject, whereas after is the entire sentence will be the predicate. Okay. And now if in this sentence you can say I went, so I is the subject, whereas after went up to this Delhi will be the predicate. I is the subject, like Delhi is predicate. I subject teach English is predicate. I subject respect everyone will be the predicate of the sentence. Okay. So subject is subject and the rest of the part will be the predicate. Okay. A basic sentence consists of two main parts, that is the subject and the predicate. The subject is noun or pronoun that the sentence is about, while the predicate contains the verb and provides information about the subject. For example, the cat is sleeping. Now here the cat is the subject and is sleeping. So this is called predicate. Okay. One more important thing is there. One most important thing is there that the subject or the object, they can be formed either of noun or with a pronoun. Okay. However, they can be formed with other parts of a speech as well, but those we will discuss later on. Okay. So for now, we can only say that subject and predicate. Subject is someone who does the action, who performs the action, or whom we are talking about, and the rest of the part is known as predicate of the sentence, which contains verb and various other patterns like the object or the you can say verb, adjective, subject, complement. All those parts are known as predicate. Now, here we have some types of sentences. So, here we will discuss types of sentences. Sentences can be categorized into 4 types based on their function. Now, I have already discussed with you that what is sentence. Okay. Moreover, we have discussed that what is subject and predicate. So, these are the 2 parts of the sentence. Now, we have various types of sentences. Now, what are the types of sentences? Sentences can be categorized into 4 types. So, we have 4 types of sentences, and that we are going to discuss now. Now, what are the 4 types of sentences? First, we have declarative sentences. Make statements and end with a period. Period means this point. Okay. So, a basic sentence or a basic structure of the sentence in which we describe something, in which we make a statement, that is known as a declarative sentence. Okay. So, for example, if I say she's a student, okay, she's brilliant. So, this is a declarative sentence. Interrogative sentences ask questions and end with a question mark. So sentences which are asking question, or which are you can say any question which is actually the question. That is known as interrogative sentence. Okay. For example, if I say, what is your name? So this is an interrogative sentence. Imperative sentences gives commands or requests and often end with a period or exclamation mark. So it ends with either a full stop or you can say exclamation mark. However, many times we end it with just a full stop. Okay. For example, go there, come here. So these are actually the imperative sentences where we make commands, where we make requests. For example, please give me some water, or please give me a glass of water. Kindly note this down. So these type of sentences in which we give order, in which we request to anyone, in which we make instructions, in which we instruct another person. These type of sentences are known as imperative sentences. Exclamatory sentences express strong emotions and end with an exclamation mark. Now, what is exclamation mark? This type of mark is known as exclamation mark. It means where we exclaim something. For example, if I say, what a man is he? If I say, how pathetic, how ridiculous the weather is, or how boring the weather is. So, which express our emotions, how pathetic, how surprising, how emotional. Okay, these type of sentences are known as exclamatory sentences. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Now let us have some examples of types of sentences. Declarative, for example, the sun is shining. So this is a declarative sentence. Interrogative, are you coming to the party? So here we are asking some question to another person and we are ending such sentence with a question mark. So this is an interrogative sentence. Interrogative means in which we ask any question to another. It means question sentences are known as interrogative sentences. Imperative, please pass the salt. So imperative means in which we are making any request, in which we are giving instructions to someone, in which we are making orders, in which we are you can say in which we are making orders or giving orders to someone. That is known as imperative sentence. Okay, for example, if I say shut up, if I say don't go there, so these type of sentences are known as imperative sentences. Exclamatory, what a beautiful sight, how pathetic the weather is. Okay, when I exclaim my emotions, okay, hooray, we won the match. So, wow, what a beautiful spectacle, what a beautiful scenery. So these type of sentences in which we express our emotions out, these type of sentences are known as exclamatory sentences. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Here we have some sentence fragments. A sentence fragment is an incomplete sentence that lacks a subject, a verb, or a complete thought. These should be avoided in formal writing. Incomplete sentences fragment, walking in the park on a sunny day. Okay, what is sentence fragment? It is actually when we just when in basic speech. Okay, for example, if I'm speaking with my friend, or if I'm speaking while walking in the park, I'm just talking with my friend, and I'm saying everything about today. Okay, everything about office or any topic if I'm discussing with him, and I'm using only some parts of the sentence which can make the meaning clear to the another person, but which will not make the entire structure of the sentence properly, or you can say in a sequence that will not be a coherent sentence. It means the words are there, you can infer the meaning from what one wants to say, but the sentence structure is not complete over there. That is known as sentence fragments. For example, if I say walking in the park on a sunny day, okay, so this is actually you can get the message what the speaker or the writer is wants to convey to you, that there is a person who is walking in the park on a sunny day, or he likes to walk in the park on a sunny day. Okay, or he's talking about walking in the park on a sunny day. So this is actually the fragment or the sentence fragment, because here we can get the message which the author or the speaker wants to convey, but this is not actually the proper grammatical structure of the sentence. Okay, or you can say that the sentence is not properly arranged. Okay, Now, compound sentences. A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses, complete sentences joined by a coordinating conjunction and, but, or, not, for, so, yet, or a semicolon. I like to read, and my brother prefers to watch movies. For example, she is going to Delhi and I am going to Patna, or but I'm going to Patna. So these two different sentences, if they are joined together with the help of a conjunction, that is known as compound sentences, where you have joined two sentences together to form one merely by a coordinating conjunction. So whenever we join two sentences together with a coordinating conjunction, it is known as compound sentences. However, if we talk about complex sentences, they are different. Now here, if we are talking about two sentences which have been joined with the help of subordinating conjunction, that is known as complex sentence. It means where the condition can be seen, where one clause depends on another, or where a subordinate clause is not complete in itself. Now, in case of compound sentence, we join two such sentences together which are of equal rank. It means both the sentences, they can individually stand alone. But if in case of complex sentences, if we join two sentences together, here a condition is formed where one sentence depends on another, and one clause of the sentence that will not stand alone to form the entire sentence. A complex sentence contains one independent clause and at least one dependent clause, that is subordinate clause, that cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. For example, if I say when the rain stopped, we went outside. It means if I just say when the rain stopped, is the sentence complete? No. We went outside is complete. But if I say when the rain stopped, obviously the sentence is not complete. If I say the rain stopped, that is also not the complete sentence. Okay, but in case of compound sentence, both the sentences. For example, if I say Ravi went to Delhi. Ravi went to Delhi. Okay, and Delhi, and he visited, and he visited all the monuments. And he visited all the monuments. Now here, if you see this sentence, you can see that this sentence is made of two sentences. One is he went to Delhi, and another is that he visited all the monuments. Now, if I speak both of these sentences individually, one is Ravi went to Delhi, and another is he visited all the monuments. Now, if I break these two sentences, if I do not link these two sentences with the help of and, still this will form both the sentences can stand alone individually. But if you talk about any complex sentence, there one sentence depends on another, they cannot stand alone individually. Okay, this is actually the difference between complex sentence and compound sentence. Now let us move to the next one, that is parallelism. Parallelism is the use of similar grammatical structures within a sentence or between sentences. It creates balance and rhythm in writing. The chef not only cooked but also served the meal. So here, parallelism means when two actions take place at the same time and we write those two sentences or two simultaneous structures or two simultaneous actions within a single sentence by using some conjunctions. So this is known as parallelism. Okay. Now modifiers. Modifiers is actually a word or any word which can modify. Modify means change or enhance which can modify another word. For example, if we talk about adjective, it modifies noun. For example, if I say beautiful girl, okay, beautiful girl. Now here, this word beautiful is actually modifying this girl. Okay, so this beautiful is describing me the quality of this girl. So modifier are the words or phrases that provide additional information. Okay, that provides additional information about other words in the sentence. Misplaced or dangling modifiers can lead to confusion or ambiguity. Misplaced modifier, he only ate the cake with chocolate frosting. It means he only ate the cake. So this can convey some different message. However, if I write it correctly, he ate only the chocolate with, he ate only the cake with chocolate frosting. It means he ate only that cake which had chocolate frosting. Rest of the cake he did not eat. But in the first sentence, which in which misplaced modifier is there, he only ate. It means he just ate the cake and he did not do anything with it. Now, of course, obviously, the cake is to eat only. Okay. Now, punctuation and capitalization, proper use of punctuation marks, that is commas, periods, colons, etc., and capitalization is crucial for clarity and proper sentence structure. Okay, so punctuation and capitalization means that whenever we write any sentence, we should take care how to write the complete sentence in a sequence. It means when to use, we should take care of the punctuations. That means when to use the capital letters, when to use the small letters, when to use the commas, the full stops, colons, etc. in a sentence, because that matters a lot in writing the sentence as well as in reading the sentences. Okay, for example, if you are just writing the entire paragraph without any full stop, that will make the reading messy. Also, it will not create the pattern of the sentence because you will not get where it is ending. Okay. Also, capital letters should be used accordingly or according to the requirement of their usage. For example, if we are writing any name, okay, any proper noun, for example, if I'm writing my name, of course it should begin with capital letter. Okay, if I'm writing the name of my city or my country, obviously I will write it with capital letter. Okay, or I will use the first letter of that name with in capital letters. Okay, I cannot make every letter in the sentence capital. Okay, and if I write my name beginning with the small letter, that will really make the that will really be against grammar. Also, it will not look like uh, uh, it will not look effective. Okay, so this is how we should take care of the punctuations and capitalization. This is very, very important. It plays a crucial role in writing the sentences. Okay. Also, many times it happens that if we do not use proper punctuation marks, or if we do not use proper colons, proper commas, and full stops in a sentence, they will definitely spoil the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so, or you can say change the meaning of the sentence entirely. So the use of these words is very, very important, and that plays a very important part. Now let us move to the next one. Now we'll discuss sentence structure and parts of sentence. So in parts of sentence, I have already discussed with you about subject, verb, and object. Subject means the subject is the main noun or pronoun in a sentence that performs the action or is being described. It is what the sentence is about. She is studying for the exam. So this word is studying. It is performed by she. So she is actually the subject of the sentence. The verb is the action word in a sentence that shows what the subject is doing or state in it. Now, what is actually verb that we will discuss in this session later on? She is studying for the exam. So this studying is verb over here. Okay. Verb actually defines the main action. And what is actually meaning of verb, that we will discuss later on. Object, the object is the noun or pronoun that receives the action of the verb. Okay, so object is a particular thing, an object or the person that receives the action or that receives the effect of the verb. Also, if any word replies to the question what or whom, that word is known as object. It answers to the question what or whom after the verb. Example, she is studying for what? For the exam. Okay, now actually object is something which is replying to the question for whom. Okay, replies to the question whom or what, so that is known as object. For example, he received a letter. Now what did he receive? He received a letter. So this letter is an object in the sentence, whereas he is the subject and received is the verb in the sentence. Okay, well, what is verb, or the elaboration of this particular word, that is verb? We will discuss that in the next session. okay, of the same chapter. So in the part 2 of sentence structure, we will discuss or elaborate verb. Okay. So till now, we will end our topic from till here only. So thanks to you till then. And if you want to learn learn various concepts of subject and object and the sentence structure, be connected with me in another section as well. Till then, thanks to you.